Friends, people are speaking out. My first topic about the HST, and that message is beginning to resonate. Folks find out that it's going to cost them more to buy a new home, to conduct business with a real estate agent, a home inspection. Parents are now realizing that it's going to mean more to sign up their son or daughter for hockey or figure skating or other minor sports. And you know for sure it's resonating is when Dalton McGuinty's minister in charge of selling the harmonized sales tax recently did a press release declaring that the easiest way to avoid paying the HST is to prepay for services in the spring. I kid you not. That was actually part of his sales pitch, including talking about prepaid funerals. He actually said that. So, ladies and gentlemen, when the best that this government can come up with in a sales pitch is prepaid funerals, you know we are winning this argument, and maybe it is a clear sign that this tax deserves to be buried once and for all. And let me say at the outset, too, to my friends in the real estate profession, to thank you for the hard work you do. I remember my family that practiced real estate for a while, and I know it is a demanding 24-hour day, 7 days a week profession. You got to be on your toes to help that young family find their new home, the recent widow, move into something that is more affordable. You play a very important role in our communities, helping people with major decisions that will impact the rest of their lives. And importantly, too, you make a living based on what you sell. You're not selling, there's no bread on the table. And that's why realtors and real estate agents are some of the most entrepreneurial people I have met in my travels across the province. And while it is a high-pressure profession, I know it's also a rewarding one, helping connect those young families with the dream of home ownership, helping make that vital, early financial decision. So as much as what you do is about business, it does fill a special place in people's lives, and the Ontario PC Caucus appreciates your dedication and entrepreneurship. I want to say keep up the great work. So today I want to talk a bit about what someone in my line of work can do to help someone in your line of work. I want to talk a bit about the values and principles that have motivated me in public life. And I want to discuss how you can count on a PC government to take Ontario down a very different path than the one we're on today. A path that I believe will and should address the challenges currently standing in the way of your industry reaching its full potential. I believe a home is not a commodity to be taxed like some sort of luxury. A home is where we raise our children. It's a place of comfort and security. And it's the single biggest investment most of us will ever make in our entire lifetime. Choosing a neighborhood in which to live, finding a space to accommodate our family's changing needs, deciding what type of mortgage to sign, are all crucial long-term decisions that families wrestle with around the kitchen table every day. And as families build equity in their homes, that investment triggers other economic activity through renovations, additions, or even purchase of a new home. And for these reasons, I have always believed that governments should do what they can to support that Canadian value, that Canadian dream of owning a home. And take, for example, the combined impact of the land transfer tax and the HST on home ownership. Here in the City of Toronto, we've turned it into a laboratory for that fiscal experiment with an additional land transfer tax. And now we know what the results have been. Home buyers have now been stuck paying this tax for close to 3 years. And according to the C.D. Howe Institute, this tax has already reduced home sales by 16%. It also means it eliminated $160 million worth of spin-off activities. And now, thanks to the HST, or as we like to call it, the Dalton sales tax, or the DST, we'll be paying more for the things we need and use every day. And this DST will slap an 8% tax increase on realtors' fees, condo maintenance fees, moving costs, home appraisal, inspection fees, title insurance, just to name a few. And from top to bottom, this will make the entire process of buying or selling a home much more difficult. All told, this is nothing more than a $3 billion tax grab meant to finance a government that is running a $25 billion deficit and has no clue on how to restrain its own spending or its sweetheart deals. My friends, it's a bad deal for families. It will kill jobs. And that's why the Ontario PC Caucus is joining with OREA to fight this sales tax grab tooth and nail and stop it dead in its tracks. And I'm also here to tell you that today a PC government would take Ontario down an entirely different path than the one Dalton McGuinty has us on today. The Ontario PC Caucus believes that the private sector, not government, creates jobs and generates wealth. We believe in choice and competition in the delivery of public services. This wins out over the heavy hand of government and empowers families who depend on those services. And we believe that public sector collective agreements must reflect private sector realities. Quite frankly, the public sector union leadership needs to get a grip on the realities faced by Ontario families. And we believe that the best economic development policy is to have a tax and regulatory climate that encourages innovation and investment, that welcomes job creation in our province. And we believe fundamentally that the best economic stimulus program will leave more money in the pockets of consumers, job creators, and entrepreneurs. And that's why instead of big government spending programs that are more about photo ops for politicians and take months and months or even years to ever get off the ground, we would have stimulated the economy by immediately putting money directly into the hands of consumers. For example, I've called for the suspension of the land transfer tax for at least a year. It would save home buyers $4,000 on the purchase of an average $350,000 home in our province. It would also encourage construction activity right away. And I believe this is a type of fair and entirely reasonable step we should be taking today to create jobs and to put the dream of home ownership back within the reach of young families in our province. And in addition, the PCs will continue to call for a payroll tax holiday on all new hires. Being forced to pay hundreds of dollars in payroll taxes when you hire each new employee is a clear economic disincentive and makes the decision to grow a business even more difficult. And that's why we will actively push back against this creep of red tape and overregulation that is paralyzing job creation throughout Ontario, that limits choice for consumers and drives up prices in the marketplace. And the last time a PC government tried this, we eliminated 80 outdated laws and 2,000 redundant regulations came off Ontario's books, and we helped small business create jobs in our province and led this nation in total jobs created. Friends, there's no question our province faces some very serious challenges. And some have been posed by the global recession, but far too many are self-inflicted wounds. And as long as the provincial government remains hardwired to higher taxes and runaway spending, Ontario families will not see the recovery they deserve. You know, we've always known in Ontario that was the economic engine of our country. And that's why my grandparents came here to start a new life. And rather than lament our slide into have-not status, we should use this as a rallying cry to make Ontario a leader once again. And I want to build a stronger, I want to build a prouder province of Ontario. And I want our children and grandchildren to grow up in a stronger, safer, more prosperous province with more and better opportunities than we know today. And I look forward to working with OREA and doing all that we can make happen and make sure Ontario goes back to its rightful place as the economic powerhouse of Confederation. My friends, thank you very much for your hospitality here today.